it's just a beautiful meaning.
And it's interesting, Felipe, that you mentioned, because also at the top of the sukkah, there's like, we put a little whale. A whale. There's in the Midrash, yes, also in Weinrib's book, there is a saying that after this world, or the world of time and space, like the righteous, there is a Lord that says that the righteous ones are sitting next to the table with the infinite, and there is a special meal. What is a special meal that includes a whale, Leviathan? And I would like to explain this image. It's not Leviathan is a big fish, like people tend to think about it. When you divide the word Leviathan, translated into whale, in Hebrew it's like two different words, Levi, and ten, it means to give, giving, escort. So what does it mean to dine next to a table when a Leviathan is served? It's not a certain kind of fish that people sit in a special restaurant and there's a special chef. Good morning, Luke, that serve you a special dish called Leviathan or whale. It means that next to this table, it's not a physical table and it's not a physical meal. It just being one with the source. 10 Levi is the same letters as Leviathan, Leviathan. And there's an escort of being. Yes, escort of being. And this is the meaning of sitting next to the table and eating, not Leviathan dish or special fish dish. It means the being is who we are. This is our true essence. And this is a special meal. Why is it a special meal? Because usually in time and space, when people sit at a table and they eat as much as they feel that they hungry or they can feel the void inside, at some point there's a slowdown in eating because there's a fulfillment, physical fulfillment. So there's a slowdown in eating until people feel that they cannot eat or drink anymore, and then they leave the table because whatever void that they have inside is fulfilled and there's no interest in the table, and they walk and they leave the table. It means that they are satisfied or the meal is gone. But in this beautiful lore, the righteousness again, tzaddikim, it's not just like righteousness we translate it into English, but those who can see the full circle, not look linearly at life. So those tzaddikim, yes, righteousness, let's call it for the moment, those who see in a way, I would say, non-dual or holistic or non-linear, they sit next to the table and they never leave the table. Because in the dual world, when people eat enough or drink enough, they feel that they fulfill and they leave the table because they don't have any interest in eating and drinking. Their needs are covered and they move on. But in the, how do you say, in a special meal of after space and time. Hello. The sitting next to the table or eating, yes, Leviathan, and it's not a physical fish, you don't, how do you say, it's not a physical or a void that is being fulfilled, because usually in space and time, when you feel satisfaction, you cannot eat anymore. You just leave the table. If you will overeat, it will cause the system to vomit or to puke. It's too much, like babies, sometimes they're whelps or so. But in this special meal, there is no point of satisfaction. Yes, because there is no gap to fill. In duality, there's always a gap, a lack, a void that you can feel it in drinking, in eating, and watching movies or listening to music. People get sad and listen to music, they get high also. But here they sit next to the table and they never leave, because being, and this is what the Leviathan, how do you say, symbolizes being. It's not a distance to cross. If people are hungry, let's say physical hunger, they sit and they eat, and it takes time until they slow down their eating and they feel satisfaction and they're not thirsty anymore. Slowly they feel, yeah, okay, they lose interest and they move on. But Leviathan, or in being, there is no void. Void, I mean emptiness to fill. So there is no gap. It's not processed in space and time. This is why being is unlimited. It's not limited. So people sit next to the table and never leave, because it's not a physical hunger. It's not a physical thirst. It's just being. This is why the Lord says that the righteousness are sitting next to the table and they have like a tiara, like angels, circles. Their head is circled. You know, when they always draw angels, there's like a ring circle above their head, like angels. So the righteousness, or the nonlinear, or the non-dual, they sit next to the table and they have above their head a ring, yes, or tiara, they call it, yes, like angels. And they just enjoy the moment of being. There's nothing to fulfill. There is no process in time that demands that they will, until they will serve the first day, the second, and so on. Being is not of a process. This is why this meal of Leviathan, and you can look at this in the Hebrew sources that are translated. This is why this meal is so important, because it is to see life beyond the veil of space and time. Being, this is Leviathan. Being has no condition. This is why they sit next to the table with a tiara, like a ring above the head, like angels, and they don't. It's not to consume physical food or physical drinking, just being, and they enjoy. Yes, the Hebrew says ziva shechina, the how do you say, the illumination of the Shekhinah, of the Holy Spirit. Yes, so there is no need, in a way, for people to cease to exist, yes, and you can also enjoy this moment of being in the sukkah. Yes, this is what they say, 7 days to sit in the sukkah, and then sukkah, or sitting in the 7 days, is a parable about this life, space and time, 7 days or so. And then comes the big meal, the infinite, this is infinite meal. Yes? In a finite, when people sit next to the table and they're hungry and they're thirsty, they eat and they drink until they don't feel hunger anymore or thirst, and they leave the table and they go for their own, doing their own thing. Yes? But in infinite, there's nothing to fulfill. There is no distance of a hunger or thirst to cover, so they can just enjoy the being. This is why the meal of Leviathan is considered to be the greatest meal ever. And all of this story about the Leviathan meal is just because we share that on top of the roof of the sukkah, we put a little Leviathan. Yes, a little Leviathan, and this is it, in a way, marks or symbolizes the infinite, that beyond the seven. Yes, beyond the seventh day, beyond the seven, there is infinite, which is symbolizes by Leviathan. What is Leviathan? Is not a big fish. Yes, we take the Hebrew word Leviathan, 5 letters, we divide it into 2 parts, Levi and 10. 10 is to give. Giving escort, it means just being. What does it mean to give escort to someone? Be with him. You give escort to the child to school, just be with him. Yes, being. Yes? So this is the most beautiful thing. The meal of Leviathan. I wish everyone to have this meal. This is spiritual meal, and you can ask any question that you want, or you can share whatever you like. Luke, Yanis, yes, and Felipe. We're so happy. Yes, Leviathan. Yes, 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 Leviathan. Yes. Luke is asking, can you summarize that one more time in a few sentences? What is a Leviathan meal? This is the question, Luke. I'm going to bring some water. Yes, 1 second. I'm going to bring water. Yes, 1 second. Let's start from the beginning. Felipe says that he is very happy that we could build like few moments before class the sukkah. And I said that on the top of the sukkah, on the roof of the sukkah, we located a little Leviathan. Yes, a little whale. And I shared the beautiful lore about what happens at the end of times. Yes, this is the great question that everyone asks. What happens at the end of time? Like if there isn't any time or space. And the Midrash and the lore says the following thing. Righteousness, how do you say righteous people? Tzaddikim. It means, what does mean righteous people? It's a quality. It's a non-dual way to see the world, non-linear. Yes? So they're sitting next to the table. Above their head, there is a tiara, like a ring. Yes, like a, yeah, not a crown. Yes. In Hebrew, keter is masculine, but tiara is a ring, like angels they have. Usually you see, yes, in the painting. So they're sitting next to the table. And above their head, you could recognize that there is a ring, like angels. And they enjoy. What do they enjoy? Ziv Shechina, the illumination of the Holy Spirit. Now, the question is, why do they sit next to the table? And what is this Leviathan meal? Usually people go to restaurants all over the world and they pay a lot for a chair to be able to enter a certain restaurant that a great chef is cooking especially for them a meal because they want to feel special, they want to feel related to, so they're willing to pay a lot. So the question is, what is this meal that the Lord speaks about? Is it about a certain chef that makes you a special dish from a whale fish? Is it this? Is it physical? And they say no. This meal is totally not physical. And how do they explain it? When people sit next to the table, yes, and there's a hunger or thirst, people sit next to the table and they eat until the gap inside, the void, the emptiness slowly gets filled. And when this hunger slowly gets filled, there's a slowdown in eating. When somebody is very, very hungry, he will eat fast. Like baby will take the bottle very, very fast when they are hungry. But when they slowly get filled inside, they're not that fast. So they're slowing down in eating, they're slow down of drinking, until they reach like a fulfillment point, yes, in eating and drinking, and they don't find interest anymore in table just because they're filled. And they leave the table and they go to their business in their lives. Yes, this is how it is in the physical world. Yes, space and time. There's a hunger, there's a thirst, those needs to be fulfilled. Otherwise people become animal. But the Lord says something very interesting. Unlike in physical life or in duality, when people are fulfilled and they reach a fulfillment point and they leave the table, The righteous people never leave the table of the Holy Spirit. They never leave the table. Because unlike in duality, it's not a process. It doesn't work on two lines. What happens is when someone's hungry, there's a lack. What is hunger? They lack something. So comes a fulfillment. So there's a lack and there's a fulfillment. It means it's two, lack and fulfillment. Thirst, lack of liquids, yes, and drinking is a fulfillment. Minus, plus, and minus always comes before plus, yes? So unlike in the physical world, the righteousness, they sit next to the table and they never leave the table. Why? Because they never reach to fulfillment point. Why? Because from the beginning, they don't sit next to the table with the minus. Why? Because they sit next to the table with a sense of being. A sense of being is not processing time and space. Yes, a sense of being is just being. So they don't come to the table with a sense of a lack and now they sit next to the table and they fill the buckets inside with food or drink. No, they just sit hanging on next to the table, being. They don't need to be in Japan in the next 12 hours. They don't need to go to an airplane to be in New York in 7 hours. There's no rush. You just can sit, be, yes? And since there is no physical lack, it can last, it can infinitely last. Yes? It can infinitely last. Yes, because it's not conditioned. Yes, Felipe is asking, in the first glance, I see two interesting words in Leviathan, Levi and Natan. Does it make... Yes, this is what I'm trying to tell. Yes, Levi is not just the name of the third son of Leah and Jacob, Levi. It basically, and this is how Leah explains the name. Leah gives the name Levi because she said it's the third son. She said, now, yes, my men will join me or will, how do you say, escort me or will accompany me. It means to accompany, to go with. Lelavot, it means to give escort. Yes, like you escort someone to school, to the kindergarten. Yes, you just be with the child. The child, you walk with him. You are with him. It's just, this is it. So Levi is not just a name, a noun. It's a verb, to escort, to give companion. Yes? So if we take the word Leviathan and we divided it into two parts, like Felipe, notice, Natan is to give or ten is to give. Tav and Nun, it means to give. To give. Yes, let's move into English. I hope it's working. Give. And Levi, it means escort. So give escort. I hope that I write it right. Please correct me if I'm not. How do you write escort? E-S-C-O? C-O-U? Please help. Levi, can you type escort? Yes, very good. Escort. Is to escort, to accompany. Yes? So what does the word or name Leviathan mean? Not just a big fish. Yes, we don't speak now about different kind of fishes in the ocean. To give escort. Yes. So who's sitting next to the table? The righteousness? The soul. The soul sits next to the table and enjoy what? Ziva Shechina. Yes, what is the light of the Holy Spirit, infinite light of infinity. Yes, this is why they say that righteousness are sitting next to the table and the tiara is above the, it's a non-dual. The tiara or the ring above, like angels, symbolizes non-dual, but a holistic, and they enjoy the illumination of the infinite. This is what it means. So the soul gives an escort, yes, to the infinite. So again, what happens is when people hear the word Leviathan, they see image of a big fish. And you say, okay, exit. Yes, it's not a big fish. X on it, like you see in cartoon. X on this thought. It's not a big fish. Yes, it's not a big fish. No, no. You take the word as an image, you divide it into two parts. It is giving escort. So what this meal really encoding inside of itself? The soul, yes, or the righteousness. Sit next to the table with infinite. Of course, the soul enjoy the company of the infinite. There is no lack in the infinite. Of course, nobody wants to leave the table. It's a most beautiful moment. People think that living in time and space, eating from restaurant to restaurant, is the great, how do you say, enjoyment in life. To move from restaurant to restaurant, from gelaterie, from ice cream shop to ice cream shop. This is how it's the greatest joy in life. Yes? Consume things. Yes, as customers. Consumerism, this is life. Comes the Lord and says, no, the greatest enjoyment in life is as a soul sitting next to the sitting next to the table with the infinite, and never need to go again to the conditions of space and time. Just to be. Is it understood? Felipe, Luke, Yanis, is this understood? The meal of Leviathan. Yes? Because once people hear Leviathan, look how the brains brings up an image of a fish. Yes? Say Leviathan to people, they will draw you a fish, they will type it in Google and bring you an image of a fish. And no, don't look at it like it's not a fish. You break the Hebrew words into parts, and then you see what is hiding in the letters or encoded in the letters. You look at the code. Yes? Not at the image, at the code of letters. And this is what they're trying to tell us. People are all the time in struggle. I want to achieve things in life. Yes, they want to achieve, they want to do things. It brings a lot of pressure because there's conditions here all the time. And this law is trying to tell us something completely. Don't fight with the conditions in space and time. Don't fight with them. Good morning, Fernando. We're so happy to see you. Don't fight with the conditions of space and time. You can sit like the righteous, yes, next to a table and enjoy the infinite light. This is the meal of Leviathan, and happens where? After the 7 days of Sukkot. Because the 7th day of Sukkot, yes, is a symbol to 7 days of the week. Our time here, it doesn't matter how many years, it's of 7 days. Yes, there's a birth, and there's like decay. Yes, and it doesn't matter how many years are written in the ID card or in the registrations of the municipality, it's only 7 days. And people are afraid that they will not make it in 7 days. They want to get married, they want kids, and then the career, blah, 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 and they want to go abroad and climb from mountain, jump from mountain, and parachute. You know, it brings a lot of stress, and the the Lord tries to tell us a very beautiful thing. Don't look into the world of conditions, space and time. There's in a way beyond it or before it. There is no condition. In infinite, there is no condition, and let's join this moment of being. This is why they say that after seventh day of sitting in the sukkah comes the eighth day, and there's a great meal. The eighth day is like the eighth sphere, yes, of the Messiah. There are many, many names for it. Or infinite. In infinite, there is no lack. And you can just be, sit, and never leave the table, because in the physical or in the conditional world of space and time, people hungry, they sit next to the table. They eat as much as they feel like, or they drink, they fill themselves up, and slowly, yes, they lose interest in the table because they get satisfaction. But they say the righteousness, they sit next to this table with the Leviathan, and they never leave the table. They never lose interest in being. It's the most important thing. This is what the sages are trying to tell us. This is the meal of Leviathan. Again, not as a big fish. When we divide the word Leviathan into two parts, Levi, yes, is to escort. The name Levi comes from to escort, because Leah explains why she names him Levi. He is the third son. Previously to him, there's Reuven and Shimon. Each one she's holding, yes, she holds in one hand Reuven, in the second hand Shimon, and once there is a third son, she said, now my men will accompany me, because I cannot hold three children in two hands. Now he will accompany Hapa'am, this time, says Leah, in the birth of Levi, Yilave ishi elai, my man, yes, will escort me. My man Yilave will escort me. So she named the third son Levi. It means to escort someone. So when we see, again, please pay attention to the connection, the linguistic connection. When we look at the word Leviathan, it's not a big fish. No. Look at the Hebrew letter, code the letters. Yes, Levi is to escort. 10, give escort, accompany. Accompany what? Being. Being accompanies everything. This is the background when everything is happening. Any questions about this special meal? Yes, Yanis, Fernando, Felipe, Lucas, or any other question or any sharing? You're most welcome. Yes, Felipe.
It makes me think that many times when we have a good reunion, a gathering of friends or family, or we are in a in the table, in a good meal, in a good moment. As far as I, my concern in my, in my, let's say, my, as far as I can tell, the most precious part of the meal is after, when we many times we spend many hours in the table, just talking and having a good time in that particular place, in the table. Is I don't know, just a cup of coffee, and it's interesting because there is this kind of satisfaction of gathering in the table, but it's not about a meal. It's about gathering maybe in a circle, in a face to face relation, uh, aware of the, and there is this element between people, that is the table, which maybe we could think of it as an altar, or something that
Yes. Yes.
it's giving, it's the place of the Shekhinah, let's say, the place that we can receive the ton, the not it's the present of.
Mhm.
And just to share that the moment I think is more precious is the this gathering, this conversationality, this yeah.
That's right. Yes, thank you. That's correct. Yes, the conversation around the table. Yes, there is. It's some. It is. This is being. This is being. There's also a very interesting text in the Bible. In this, just there's like different riffs on the holiday, so I will share like few riff on the holiday. Yes, there's also seven guests which are coming, seven shepherds which are coming to the sukkah, and in this holiday there is in a way sacrificing of 70 bulls. And I would like to explain, because everything here evolves around 770. So, what does it mean? Yes, 70 is like the word yain, wine. Yes, this is the manifestation. And sacrificing or canceling or see beyond the 70, to see beyond space and time, or before space and time, or before the manifestation, or before the appearance, because people take what is written in the Bible as liter- literally, meaning that this is how people see things. Yes, 70 bulls. King Solomon is sacrificing 70 bulls or so. And we were sharing this a bull, par in Hebrew. Yes, par. Maybe you remember from red. Right? Par has the value of 280. Yes, this is, if we take the zero outside, this is bull. Bull has the value of 280. We take the zero out. This is 4 times 7. This is the manifestation. So we understand that whatever appears in the manifestation also can what? Disappear. And this is considered to be to sacrifice. Yes? To see. When there's appearance, we call it seeing. Yes? Or looking. And when there's a disappearance, we call it sacrifice, because you don't see it anymore. So, in a way, there's like coming, appearance, and disappearance. Do we understand this relation between 70 bulls, yes, and see beyond the veil of manifestation? Do we understand this? I don't know a formula, but this way of relating to life. Please repeat. Okay. In the Bible, there is one, this is a, how do you say, a forward to Sukkot. Because Sukkot, you can speak about Sukkot for 70 years and it will not be enough. Yes, so we just take different riff, like different angles, like snippets about Sukkot, because you can speak about it for many years. One of the take references to Sukkot, which is written in the Bible, that King Solomon used to sacrifice 70 bulls. 70, the number is familiar. Yes, 70. 70 is 7 times 10. Yes, there's a 7 days. Please pay attention to the relation. Yes? Yes? 7 days sitting in the sukkah. Yes? And King Solomon used to sacrifice 70 bulls. What does it mean? People take it literally. They see all kinds of images in front of their eyes. And we say again, open the word bull in Hebrew. The word bull, par, yes, has 280 as value. Take the zero out, it's 28. It's the cycle of a moon. Yes, 28 is a cycle of a moon, 4 weeks, double 7. This is the manifestation. Yes? The manifestation. Whatever appears to the eye can also disappear. What appears, yes, everybody's happy. What disappears, people are sad. Or some, if people are considered to be sacrificing something, what is to sacrifice? There's a cancel of appearance. Yes? So what does it tell us that King Solomon used to sacrifice 70 bulls? What is the symbolism? What does it mean? That whatever appears can also disappears. Yes? This is what it means. What is sacrifice is if not is disappearing? What is sacrifice? What used to be animated, yes, used to move, used to, if it's a sheep, lamb, meh, 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 suddenly it disappears, evaporate. What is sacrifice? Canceling, yes, canceling the shape and the form and the name and the sound, yes. There is no distance. Yes? Do we understand that? Yes, very good. So this is one aspect. Yes, one of the so many aspects of Sukkot. Another aspect of Sukkot is it is the third pilgrimage. Yeah, there are three times in a year that people used to leave their business and go to the temple to assemble as a community. Yes, it is very. Felipe mentioned seeing face to face. Yes, people can be located in different locations in the country or in the state. But 3 times per year, people are meeting, yes, in the temple. Once it's in spring, in Passover. Another one is in Kolet Shavuot. Again, 7 times from Passover, 7 weeks from Passover is Shavuot. So there's again assembly in the temple. And the third time is in Sukkot. So people go, it's like a pilgrimage. What is so special about Sukkot? Sukkot is also called Zman Simchatenu, the time of our happiness. Why is the time of our happiness? And we notice the term Simchat Torah, the happiness of the Torah. In June, in Shavuot, Moses came with the 10 Commandments. Yes, and gave it to people. But were they there to receive it? No, they were dancing under the mountain, celebrating their concept about life. Their concept about life was a golden calf. I know better. I will tell you. Yes? So, though he came with the 10 Commandments, there was no one there to receive the 10 Commandments because they were busy. They were busy, yes, in their own celebration about what they think life is about. So, there was no receiver. So there's no giving. They're still giving, but there's no receiving. So it was, they were shattered. There's no receiver on the other hand, so nothing had happened. So Moses go again to the mountain to ask forgiveness for 40 days. He comes at Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement. God says, I forgive as you say. And Moses comes down from the mountain with the second pair of tablets. Yes, there's a slight difference between the first that we're giving in the third month. Shavuot is the third month from spring. Third is always the spirit. But people are incapable, yes, of receiving the spirit. They think they do better with the brain. So there's the golden calf. Moses go to the mountain to ask forgiveness. He descends at Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, with a new pair of tablets. A new pair, slight different, something that people, the brain, can receive. There's a changes in it. There's a finite, and this is the addition, there's a finite change in it in order that people could receive it in time and space. And the second time they accept. This is why Sukkot and the 4 days between Day of Atonement, yes, and Sukkot. This is why Sukkot is called also Zman Simchatenu, the time of our happiness, because there is a hearing. They manage to receive the 10 Commandments. What does it mean? To receive that there's a higher power than their brain functions. This is the meaning of the time of our happiness. There is a communal hearing and accepting there's a higher power than our own stupid brains, who are merely poor calculators. This is why Sukkot is considered to be Zman Simchatenu, the time of our happiness, because the greatest happiness is to recognize there's a higher power than stupid me. This is great happiness, to recognize a higher power than the stupid me that appears and disappears. Yes? Therefore, there is a verse that says, V'samachta b'chagecha, and you shall be happy in your holiday. Yes, holiday we say in English, chagecha, in Hebrew, chag, it means also circle. Yes? And holy or holistic is something which is non-linear. So the verse says, V'samachta b'chagecha, and you shall happy in your holiday, in the completeness, in a circle. Va'ita ach sameach, and you shall be only happy. Yes, it's not just, and you shall be happy in the holiday, in your holiday only. And you shall be only happy. There is no other way. Once we accept there's a higher power than our poorly brain functions, there's only happiness. Only happiness. What a relief. I'm not in charge. I'm stupid. No, there's a stupid calculating going inside in each and every one of us. It's rather poor. It's rather stupid. What a relief. We can be happy now. Again, happiness resonates with being. Yes, being happy or happy. Because what is happy? What is happiness? Let's break it. What is happiness? Why we are capable of being happy? Because the tyranny of the brain stops. This is why what allows us to be happy. As long as the tyranny dictates us conditions, we are very poor. Yes? And sad. Once the tyranny is gone, it's a great happiness like wraps us, embraces us. Yes? Because the only thing, yes, that can separate us from life is the calculation of the brain. And the calculation and the broadcast of the brain that you are poor, independent, yes, individual creature, and so you're out of the system. The world is in one pole and you're in the other. Yes, and this is the source for all miseries. Once this tyranny is gone, the brain has no position. And this is what happens in the holiday. And this is why people like to assemble together, because there is a sense of holiness, not just, so to speak, separated me and the brain calculator. But people assemble, each one says one word, and there's like something which is greater, is bigger, yes, than the sense in brackets of separated entity. This is why people assemble. This is why they go three, again, listen to the number, 3 times per year, 3 times per year to to meet, when there's assembly, when there's a community. Now it doesn't matter, yes, of people together. There is no separated self. There's a communal spirit. There's a sense of something bigger than this miserable me. And this is the truth. The miserable me is a lie. So it's very important to meet and to notice that when those beautiful meetings here are also an aspect of it. Once there's a meeting, there is no poor me. There's like communal spirit. And we are of the spirit. This is our true nature, of the spirit. The matter comes and separates everything. Any question that you would like to ask? Luke, Felipe, Yanis, any question or something that you would like to share, you're most welcome. It's a beautiful, yes, yes, Luke. I'd rather be sitting in assembly, yes, with a bunch of religious, yes, 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 I see. Just another thing that came into my mind, yes, is that there is a quote that with what to decorate the roof of the sukkah, because it's a temporary building. Yes, it's just a temporary set. And after 7 days, you cancel, you collect everything. It like never existed, like a mandala. People sit many hours on the mandala, and then after, it's gone. It's like life. You invested so much in it, building, decorating, writing, painting, and then people are moving on, and it's gone. Life is. So there is a beautiful recommendation by the sages how to build the roof of the sukkah. And they say, don't invest, yes, so much in the roof of the sukkah. It's a temporary building. Take what is left over from the greenery, yes, or from the vineyard, like old branches that are left from the vineyard, yes, or from the threshold. Don't build something special. Take the leftover branches. This is the end of the summer. There are all kinds of branches, leftovers. Yes, and with the leftovers, what is dropped in the field, forgotten, go dry, pile all of them together, and make a roof for this temporary building. And the word for leftovers is psolet, like the trash. You know what is there in the field, in the garden? Psolet, leftovers. What is, okay, this is very ecological. Yes, what is left? Anyways, this is what nature leaves after the summer, so take it and use it. This is what nature does. Nature does, you know. But the sages are telling us something else also. It symbolizes for us something very interesting about the brain activity. What you consider, yes, as a roof, as the top of your achievement, as a one that spends time here in space and time, whatever you consider your top achievements, it's just nothing. It's just a dry leaves that dries after one season. This also to tell us, hey, each one of him think about that he's a great genius, that he's a great maker, that he's is it a great whatever. And in this act of symbolism, sitting in the sukkah with the roof, which is made, the roof is like, the highest point of a building. Yes? Whatever you think is your great achievement of thinking, of architecting, yes, of planning, yes, it's just a dry leaf. It just appears and disappears. So don't take yourself so seriously, and enough with the tyranny of the brain. And now you can be happy and only happy. Yes. Yes, so ושמחת בחגיך, and you shall be happy in your holiday. והיית אך שמח, and you shall be only happy because there is no other choice. Only happiness. Yes, when the brain is neutralized, there's only one or none to be happy. Because this is the natural state. Once tyranny comes, there's a duality. Yes, there's like struggles. But you remove, this is what they say non-duality, you cancel the two, and then you're just left with happiness, or just being sitting, yes, next to the table with the infinite. Being happy, sing, converse. There is no pressure. I heard from someone that he was sitting with friends 7 days, yes, in they live in different places, but they used to every evening or so to come and learn in the morning and afternoon a bit to sing and so. And after the 7 days, they just took a vacation from work. They were sitting a few friends together, and when Sukkot was gone, he was devastated. He says, "Where is it? It was gone. Everyone went to his houses in different city or so. They returned to work, the routine life." And he was devastated. He was devastated. So, dear friends, do you have any other question that you would like to ask? Please feel free. Luke, Yanis, Felipe, would you like to play for us a song? If there's a possibility, is there any? Are you connected? Is it possible? We shall be delighted. Yes, you're out of the studio. Okay, okay. Thank you for dedicating Jonah's song for us. It was beautiful, beautiful. We're so happy. So another word for sukkah is to cover. It's the same letters, but when we rearrange the letters, sukkah is to cover. So it is to cover. It's the same letters, but in a different order. It means it's a symbol, yes, that all our life here is basically a great coverage. We don't see the truth. Yes, the brain is always giving us all kinds of calculations, explanations, narrations, but we are incapable of seeing the truth. And this scar, which is also a cover, is not just symbolizing for us to protect an inner space. It's also a symbol that we don't really know what is happening around us. Yes. So, yes, it is great thing not to, because this is the true thing. We don't really know. The tyranny comes, yes, and says, yes, I know. Yes, and it brings a lot of sadness. But the truth is that we really don't know. And this is the great happiness. This is why Sukkah is also the same letters like cover. We don't know what's really happening, and be happy because we don't know. Knowing all the time brings sadness. Knowledge brings suffering, like King Solomon says. Marbe da'at, marbe machov. And there is no need to know. Be happy like a child, yes, like a student, innocently learning. And with this beautiful message, I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here. Felipe, Luke, Yanis, Fernando, friends, thank you so much. Chag Sameach, and see you soon. We shall be here on Thursday. Thank you so much. And shalom, shalom. Chag Sameach to all.